In this flowchart, we'll be going through state to line, or also known reference line. First of all, select the job that you're going to be doing some line work. Here we're going to select reference line, and then we're going to go into state to line through one of the apps here. So we click on the state to line here. We have a couple different options. We have line with a slope, grid, segment with a slope, and quick line. For this demonstration, we're going to go through the quick line. Basically, we're going to create a temporary line from 2 points that we have in our actual job folder. So in this case, we're going to select starting point of 101 and the end point of 102. You can click on the arrow here, and it brings up additional points you may have in your file. We can shift it by pressing F3. Shift will apply a shift. We can shift it horizontally, vertical, or we can even rotate the line if chosen. In this case, we're not going to do that. We'll just say OK. What you can do in the measuring app is go function and go into the settings, and you can put chainage or stationing. In this case, I don't have the correct English language file, so what I'm going to do is going to say OK, and then I'm going to arrow back out to the main menu. I'm going to go back to my app here, going to settings. I'm going to go to the system under the regional. I'm going to go back and change that to US feet. I can change my decimal distance if I like. In this case, I'll go to 3. Slope and angle, you can change all this information. I'm going to change the northern and eastings. And then, of course, the language, we would like to have English US. Select that, say OK. Then we go back into state to line. We have our quick line here, 101 to 102. There's our azimuth, horizontal distance, etc. We can then say OK. So it gives us a line definition of quick line number 1. We have a starting station at 0 station. We can set this whatever interval you would like. You can do every 10 feet, 5 feet, etc. You can offset it left or right. If you want to go to the left of the line, it's going to be negative. If you want to go positive, it will be to the right. In this case, too, we can also press the FN function key, either here or on the keypad. And this would give us our settings on how we want to work with the reference line or state to line, if being the new Captivate. So we do want stationing in this case. We can have the app of allowing entering in for distances. We want to review the results when we're done. It gives us a nice little file where we can look at the northings and eastings and even the cut and fills, etc. The navigation line, we want to use the line that we're at. You have different options you can play with, but in this case we're going to go through using the line being staked. You can set your quality control, position, height. You can allow the height to be edited if you so choose, design information, and so forth. In this case, I'm just going to say OK. And right here, we're just going to say 5 feet. The line's 86 feet from what I remember. We can do every 5 feet and say OK. I'm using a simulator, so basically it's a little bit different of a screen layout as it's jumbled up and so forth. So basically here our point ID is what we're going to store when we get to the line that's coming up. You have your arrows going back and to the left here. If we were fixed at this time, we could then see all the information, but since we're not, it's going to push us off there. We can click the eyeball here, and then we can go to different viewpoints. You can call it God's eye, or I call it TomTom view, different viewpoints. Majority of the people like to see this particular line. That's what they're used to. In this case, we can switch different profiles basically. When selecting the God's eye, then you can zoom in, zoom out, and this would be more perspective view. Or we can just do the standard in-house left, right, and so forth. After I measure, of course I don't have a sensor, but it would give us our directions where we need to go to the line, because that's how our orientation is set. Other than that, after you store the point, you have the option to go to the next stationing, or you have the option to manually override and put in that station information and so forth. For instance, here arrow down 5 foot is my station. I have no offset, and it does give me the height of where I'm at and so forth. If we're connected, it gives us the arrow pointing down. The arrow pointing down is a cut, and of course going up is a fill, etc. If you have any questions, you can always give me a call. But that's a quick little tutorial or flow chart on reference line. Thank you.